We welcome you to the City Beautiful and Edition Financial Arena, where Week 3 of Pro Volleyball Federation play is well underway, and the Orlando Valkyries see the floor for the first time in 2 weeks' time here in the City Beautiful. Thanks for joining us tonight alongside the Beach Volleyball All-American Madison Fitzpatrick. I'm Sean Davison. And Madison, what great momentum we have seen this league build week in, week out over the first couple of weeks and change. Nearly 6,000 people were here in Advi Arena a couple of weeks ago to watch the Valkyries take on the Atlanta Vibe, a tight 5-set match that the Vibe ended up winning. But truthfully, it has been compelling play. Madison, what has stood out to you so far, other than really, I think for me, it's been defensive oriented to this point this season?
Exactly. So we're in week 3 of the inaugural season, and it's been nothing short of exhilarating. Heavy hitters, national champs taking on national champs, Olympians taking on Olympians. We've seen longer rallies. We've seen quicker plays. The competition has been so hot so far, and I have no doubt it's going to stay that way.
Well, Las Vegas got their season underway just 3 days ago, and I mentioned 5-setters. They won a 5-setter in Omaha, and of course, as I mentioned, Orlando dropping a 5-setter a couple of weeks ago right here in Edition Financial Arena to the Vibe. Madison, what are you most looking forward to here tonight?
Okay, so here's some keys to the game. The Valkyries, they're elite blockers. Kaz Brown is a record holder at Kentucky in all things blocking. And Michaela White is extremely dynamic along the net. So I think in order for Orlando to take this match, their net defense needs to be dominant. Vegas setter Alicia Glass-Childress is as decorated of a volleyball player as they come, and she spreads out her offense very well. Last match versus Omaha, she had a ton of success running through the middle, setting Molly McCage. So I would look to that setter-hitter connection to be a major factor in today's match.
So much to keep an eye on. It's going to be more compelling volleyball here tonight in the City Beautiful. We are so glad to have you along for the ride. And yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since you've seen the Valkyries. We're going to introduce you to a couple of them. Madison and I sat down with Kaz Brown and Jill Gillen. You'll hear from them after this commercial break.
Men's professional volleyball has arrived and made its mark in Orlando. Join in on the fun as your Orlando Valkyries take the court on Friday, February 16th at 7 p.m. at Edition Financial Arena. Bring the whole family and enjoy an exciting, affordable, fun, and entertaining night out as the Valkyries take on the Columbus Fury. Tickets as low as $10 are on sale now. For more information, visit OrlandoValkyries.com. That's OrlandoValkyries.com. Orlando Valkyries Pro Volleyball. Dig it.
Welcome back here to Edition Financial Arena. Sean Davison alongside Kaz Brown. And Kaz, just wanted to ask you a few questions as we get set for your matchup with the Thrill here tonight. Let's first hit the rewind button and go back to your opening match. You had nearly 6,000 fans here. What are some of your thoughts on how you played against Atlanta?
I think the match against Atlanta was a good testament to the character of this team. I think we have a lot of fight. I think we have a lot of spirit, a lot of grit, and I hope that our fans and followers were able to see that in the 5-set match. Obviously, we hope to get a win, but still so new and still trying to put the pieces together. So I think we had a really good showing in that first match.
Now, I know a lot of teams at this level like to run the middle if you get an in-system ball. What makes your club here different than the rest?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of really talented middles. I think we have a lot of length, and I think that's going to be a big strength of ours throughout the season. I think all the middles we have in the gym and on the court can attack and block, which I think makes us really multidimensional.
And Kaz, I know that you had a decorated career at Kentucky. You played internationally for a number of years and in Athletes Unlimited, but to be part of the first ever league format pro volleyball franchise, what does it mean to you to be a part of history here in Orlando?
It's a huge honor to be a part of PVF. I've played all over the world, and I had some great experiences and learned a lot about myself, but to be able to play in your home country is such a privilege. To be able to have friends and family come to your games and support you means the world, and I think that PVF has done a great job of giving us the tools necessary to build this league and be successful in year one.
Now, 7 teams here in year one, 3 more expected next year. Las Vegas, the last of them to get underway, they just played their first match a couple of days ago. How difficult is it to game plan for a team that you literally just saw for the first time 2 days ago?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to game plan for anybody at this point because, like you said, everyone is still so new. There's not a lot of film out there on teams, so I think the best game plan you can do is just honor and respect your opponent and then worry more about what you have going on in your side of the net because everybody's still figuring things out. We're still having our first couple matches to get under our belt. So I think we're going to focus a lot on us and then just, like I said, respect the opponent on the other side of the net.
Well, Cass, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck here tonight. Madison Fitzpatrick is standing by with Jill Gillen.
All right, thanks, Sean. Well, I'm here with Jill Gillen, the standout outside who originally played at Arkansas. Jill, you had a fantastic career at Arkansas, and now you're here in your first game for the Pro Volleyball Federation. You had 15 kills and 14 digs. How did it feel to come out and have such a standout performance right out of the gates?
I mean, obviously that feels good, but most of all, I'm just happy to have a chance to play. I'm happy that I get to do this as my job and still have fun doing it. So
Exactly, and how did it feel with 5,000 plus fans all around you?
really awesome. The fans were great, very excited, and yeah, it was really exciting. I had goosebumps walking out of the tunnel, so it was a lot of fun.
So Sean and I attended practice earlier, and before you guys went out to the court, in the breakdown, you said, "Dogs, woo." Can you just explain to me and the audience what that means or signifies for your team?
That means that we've got that dog in us.
Ooh, I like that. And that means you guys are gritty and tenacious and
Yes.
all of the above. We
Yes.
definitely saw that in game one. All right, well, Vegas just came out and defeated Omaha. Now they're here today. What did you see from their performance 3 days ago, and what is it going to take to win this game?
Yeah, they're really scrappy and they run really quick, so we're going to have to be quick on our block and get up early, keep an eye on their middles because they run them a lot out of system. And I think it'll be a good matchup defensively. I mean, I think we're a really defensive team, defensive focus, so that'll be a good matchup for us to see who wins the defensive crown.
Exactly. All right, thanks so much, Jill. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
We gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us,
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
and we're writing it together.
we gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
From club or high school courts to championship arenas, Spalding has been the trusted partner of volleyball players for generations. Our team of dedicated professionals isn't just about selling equipment, we're about supporting your journey. Spalding offers a comprehensive range of high-performance systems, nets, and accessories meticulously crafted for every skill level, budget, and playing style. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Spalding's knowledgeable staff will guide you, equip you, and cheer you on every step of the way.
NCAA women's volleyball will never be the same. Students of the game will study this era for generations. But we're only getting started. Sign up for pre-sale, news, and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
The lineups have been introduced, the anthem has been sung, and we are about ready to see pro volleyball once again here at Edition Financial Arena. We'll introduce you to the starting lineups, and we'll start with the homestanding Valkyries. Wilma Rivera, Adora Anai, Michaela White, Shina Joseph, Jill Gillen, and Kaz Brown will earn the starting nod. Georgia Murphy will be the starting libero for the Valkyries. And meanwhile, for the visiting Vegas Thrill, Molly McCage, Alicia Glass-Childress, Hannah Maddox, Lane Van Buskirk, Saskia Hippe, and Gabby Gonzalez each get a start. Kylie Murr, the designated libero that you'll likely see the most of here this evening at Edition Financial Arena. Another strong crowd filing in to the City Beautiful right here, actually on the campus of the University of Central Florida. What a great crowd they had just a couple of weeks ago. 5,200 folks, in fact, coming here. Orlando got that one started off with an ace serve to get the house rocking, and it stayed that way all the way throughout. Vegas silencing a crowd of over 11,000 in Omaha in a 5-set win. What a fun matchup this should be as we continue to gain momentum early on, not just this season, but in PVF history. Our up referee will be Suzanne Lowry. The down referee will be Michelle Prater, and courtesy of Bolt 6 Technology, we won't have any lines judges here tonight as we get set to start off this match. First of up to 5 sets, best 3 of 5 wins the match. First to 25, win by 2 to claim sets 1 through 4. Wilma Rivera heads back to serve it in for Orlando, and we are underway at Edition Financial Arena. Out to the right side, there's number 15 in white, Shina Joseph, recording the opening kill of the match in Madison. She's looked awfully impressive in the couple of practices we've sat in on.
She definitely has, and she's working on a bunch of things. Coach kind of explained that to us. We're going to see her try and swing for the deep corners. We're going to see her mix up her arsenal of shots, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
Wilma Rivera, one of the best servers in the world, if not perhaps the best server in the world, inducing an overpass and now a free ball opportunity to Las Vegas. Out there on the left side, number 11 in that teal and blue combination uniform, Hannah Maddox, I almost said freshman. She's the rookie out of the University of South Alabama. A tremendous addition to that Las Vegas roster. Lit it up in Omaha. More on that in a moment. Back the other way comes Orlando, and out of the middle, that's number 9, Michaela White. She goes by MK, and she can do a whole lot of that.
And Michaela White does a really good job at being up in the air every single time for her setter. She makes herself an option every single time, and right there, that paid off.
And to the back row goes Adora Anai, who was tremendous against Atlanta, made it look easy, in fact, and she nearly had a 20-20 double-double, and there's an ace for Adora.
Yep, Adora Anai coming off 18 kills, 19 digs, and an ace, and she's already recorded one right there. It's a jump topspin. She's got a heavy arm, and she drives that ball.
Orlando served it incredibly aggressively against Atlanta. Had nearly 10 aces in the match, but that did come at a price of a considerable number of service errors. They had 22, in fact, in their opener. As it looks like we have a net violation against Las Vegas. That'll keep this run of points going for Orlando. 3 in a row, in fact. They lead at 4-1. Overpass put down by MK White.
And I always feel like that should be an assist for the server. She caused the overpass, and Michaela White doing what she is supposed to do and take care of the net on an overpass.
Another jump topspin serve by Adora Anai. Set goes to the middle and lane. Van Buskirk, the product of the University of Pittsburgh, out to the left pin. There's Jill Gillen and an off-speed tip. That's a smart shot by Van Buskirk, number 7.
Really smart shot by Van Buskirk. She saw the open court, tipped it right there. And also a good dig by Kylie Murr, who lined up into that angle seam and dug it up for the assist.
Now I mentioned that number 11, Hannah Maddox, who goes back to serve for Las Vegas, lit it up in Omaha. She was one of the leading scorers, in fact, in that match. Had 18 kills to go along with 11 digs. She hit 300 in that match.
And what we saw right there from Las Vegas, that's a very rare setter-hitter misconnection. That set just a little too far outside Van Buskirk's reach, and she couldn't tip it over.
6-2 Orlando. White goes back to serve. That ball on top of the net. Gillen tips it to Las Vegas, and then they shove it out of play over the end line. It'll send White back to serve once more.
And what I'm liking from Orlando so far is the aggressive serves that they've been dealing. They've been getting Las Vegas in a bit of a trouble on serve receive so far.
Better pass there. This one goes to the right side. Hippe off speed, and Gillen shoves it over. Once again, Hippe through the seam.
And Hippe is one of those right side players that can attack the ball no matter where it's set. Even if it's set inside, she does a good job on her approach, getting her feet there. And she also has a lot of range right down the line, avoiding the hands of the outside.
Las Vegas, a team that their head coach Fran Flory talked about. She said they really built out the roster through the Pro Volleyball Federation draft. There's a lot of youngsters on this team. Veterans like Hippe, who's had an 18-year pro career, are the types of folks that teach the younger ones how to be a pro, and that's a great example of how to have a pro swing right there.
Adora Anai is effective from every single area of the court. They utilize her in the back row a lot to attack the ball. That gives the opposing defense different looks, and it's a huge advantage to have such an elite back row attacker.
Adora Anai, a 6th-year pro, 18 kills, 19 digs against Atlanta. And there's a stuff block. Boy, we were impressed by Orlando's physicality at the net a couple of weeks ago, Madison, and there's an early block as well.
Exactly. Kaz Brown is so technically sound. You see her getting there quick, throwing her arms over the net, and pressing at the perfect time.
A couple of blocks against the vibe for Kaz Brown. Also had 7 kills, 4 digs. Hippe once again from the right side. Free ball opportunity for Vegas. Hippe again.
And I mentioned before, Hippe has all of that range. We've seen some deep down the line swings, and right there, a really sharp cross court, dropping her pinky, using her entire body to wield that ball cross.
Saskia Hippe, a decorated international pro who's played for 9 different professional clubs in Germany, Italy, the Czech Republic, Greece, and Romania. Point to Orlando. They put an end to Saskia's service rotation immediately.
And that was Wilma Rivera being very physical at the net, refusing to let that ball come onto her side, blocking it straight down.
10-6 Valkyries, 10-4 Valkyries, a 6-point lead, now make it 5 here at Edition Financial Arena. That'll send Gabby Gonzalez back to serve, and in that 5th set, the Thrill trailed 8-6. They sided out, and then Gonzalez went on a 4-point service rotation to flip that lead, and boy, Kaz Brown on the slide, put that one down in a hurry.
And that is what happens when any good team is in system. They're able to run their middles from behind. Kaz Brown going on a slide right there. She's able to see the blocker and hit away from their arms.
Service error there by Brown herself as she rotates to the back row. And side out to Las Vegas. Here's Molly McCage. An eye to the front row and to the floor.
Great swing by Anai, and kudos to Wilma Rivera finding her hands perfectly. It's a quick set. Anai coming inside and then just attacking that ball at its highest point, snapping her wrist.
Anai, who's played pro volleyball in South Korea, Turkey, Puerto Rico, the Ukraine, and Greece. They've won professional club championships in both Greece and Puerto Rico, in fact. Right side attack and a whole lot of nothing there for Shaina Joseph. The double block was up for the Thrill.
Maddox did a really good job setting that block. Van Buskirk got to her. It was perfectly timed, both of them pressing their arms over the net and then pointing their palms into the court for the stuff block.
Alicia Glass-Childress back to serve. It's a service error.
Back to serve for the Valkyries, Altura Anai.
13-7 Orlando. Back set, Van Buskirk off the slide, missed the sideline. Point to the Valkyries. An Orlando team that has a combined 58 years of professional volleyball experience. Off to a good start here, Anai to serve it in once more. Back set, that's a nice looking swing.
Hannah Maddox is so good from every single area of the court. She's an outside hitter, but there she attacks the ball from the right side. She accelerates on her approach into the ball, and it's that acceleration that allows her to have such a powerful swing.
We're approaching the midway media timeout here in set 1. Orlando, if they side out, will take us to it, but that misses the sideline. Out is the call.
And you have to appreciate that swing from Jill Gillen, just barely missing the sideline, trying to swing crossbody, cranking it down the line. Also a good serve receive pass by her to start it off.
And an ace serve!
The jump topspin is very difficult to pass. It's coming at a high speed. It's dropping and it's moving at the last second. Maddox has a really strong approach, and she contacts that ball at a high point, is able to avoid the serve receivers.
Las Vegas is on a run. Orlando has seen enough. They call timeout with a 4-point lead in set 1. We'll take it with them and rejoin the action after these messages. Fans of all ages here at Edition Financial Arena as the Orlando Valkyries take on the Las Vegas Thrill, each playing their second match of this inaugural Pro Volleyball Federation season. Hannah Maddox and the Thrill are on a run. She serves it in once more, already with an ace in her pocket on this rotation. Shaina Joseph off the block. Played up. That looked like Hippe there. Another opportunity for Las Vegas. Back set, there's Hippe.
And Alicia Glass-Childress does a really good job at spreading out her offense. She has a lot of weapons, and she spreads it out very evenly, which makes it harder for the Orlando block to get comfortable and get a read on things.
Orlando's lead trimmed down to 3. Maddox serves it in once more. A strong service rotation for the first-year pro. Gonzalez caught some high hands.
And that was a smart swing by Gonzalez. She kind of got underneath it and just grabbed the fingertips of the opposing block.
Gabby Gonzalez was selected 12th overall by the Thrill in the Pro Volleyball Federation Collegiate Draft. Gillen rejected and tools the block. So it falls out of play. That's a point for Orlando and a much-needed side out.
And when you're Jill Gillen, when you are 5'7", you have to have a fast approach and you have to get creative. You have to tool the block. You're not going to swing over them all the time. So here we see her tooling the block like she should.
Service error. So after momentarily putting a halt to Las Vegas's momentum, it goes right back to the Thrill into Lane Van Buskirk. Van Buskirk, who, like Shaina Joseph for Orlando, is on the Canadian national team, serves it in, and Kaz Brown puts it down just over the net.
Orlando is at their strongest when they're in system and they're able to set Kaz Brown and Michaela White. Kaz Brown does a really good job at identifying the blocker's arms and swinging away from them. She also contacts the ball at a very high vantage point, snaps on the ball and swings through.
And this is something that Orlando's head coach Amy Pauley told us would be coming. The dub sub will be a wrinkle here for Orlando. Melissa Evans will check in place of Shaina Joseph in the opposite slot, and then platooning with Wilma Rivera as their setter is number 22, Carly Graham. So it'll be Graham checking into the back row to serve it in. Madison, why is the dub sub important and advantageous for teams?
Yeah, so the dub sub is a useful strategy that gives a new look and a fresh look to the opposing team while also giving the starters a breather. In addition to those two things, it allows the offense to run different plays with different player combinations.
Well, Las Vegas will have a free ball opportunity here, and out of the middle, it's put down in a hurry. McCage does the honors, number 5, in that. I'm not sure what color that is. I'm going to go with seafoam green, maybe?
I think that that's absolutely perfect. Yes, a little ombre. It changes as it goes up, and then it's seafoam green at the top.
That'll send Saskia Hippe back to serve. It clips the tape. Graham gets it up, and there's a shove by Kaz Brown. On the slide, one-handed dig by Anai. Evans lets it fly from the right pin. And there you go. Tool that block. McCage on the slide did it to perfection.
And I know I give the setters credit a lot, but they deserve it. Glass-Childress on her knees, cranking that ball for the slide. She was going in the opposite direction, but she still gets it to her hitter's hands. Great set.
The lead was down to 1. It's back up to 2 off the service error, and Madison going back to Glass-Childress as well as to McCage. They, along with Hippe, are 2 of the veterans that have that refuse to lose mentality that have been so beneficial for the younger players on that Vegas roster.
Exactly. They are great role models for the younger players to follow. The work ethic, the technique, all of it.
Speaking of young players, there's Jill Gillen, a young player for Orlando. A one-handed dig for number 10 in White. Off the edge of the block and down. There's another kill for Las Vegas, and it comes for number 15, Gabby Gonzalez.
Gabby Gonzalez has a lot of power. She swings through that ball with a really heavy arm every single time, and right there tooled the block, and it paid off.
Gonzalez began her collegiate career at Ohio State, finished it up at Oregon. Quick set to the middle. Brown is rejected. That's another point for Las Vegas, and we are tied here at 17. Quick to the middle, there's Brown. Over on two and to the floor. Glass Childress calls her own number and does it well.
And that's one of the advantages of running a 5-1. Glass Childress in the front row. She's able to be an offensive weapon herself. And right there, she's got her first kill of the night.
Las Vegas's first lead of the set comes at 18-17, and Orlando has struggled a bit here on serve receive. Back row attack, Gonzalez dug up by Gillen. Over on two, and there you have it. Hannah Maddox just punishes that ball as it's passed over the net.
Hannah Maddox versus Omaha is coming off 18 kills. She hit almost 400. She's really consistent, very powerful. She's one of the reasons the Thrill is able to come back. And now they're up 19-17.
Yeah, timeout once again by Orlando. And again, we will take it with the Valkyries as things tighten up late here in set one at Edition Financial Arena.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
Late going set one here at Edition Financial Arena. Orlando, the homestanding Valkyries, have led it by as many as 6, most recently at 14-8. Since then, it's 11-3 the run for Las Vegas, and a lot of it, Madison, has to do with serve receive.
Serve receive sets the precedence for the entirety of the play. If you have a pass that's out of system, it's more difficult for your setter to get her feet there, run her full offense. And you're right, that's what we've seen happen late in the set.
A lot of free balls back to Las Vegas, who then can run their offense in transition all the more easier, and you're seeing the benefits of that. They did not lead until 18-17, and now they lead the set by 3 as they enter that vaunted red zone, the last 5 points of a particular set. Short serve, Rivera back to that 10-foot line to set it out to the pin, and that's a nice set by Wilma Rivera, and a big side out for Orlando.
And Adora Anai is Orlando's go-to. If the pass is off the net, they're gonna go to her most of the time, and she puts the ball away down the line. Powerful heavy swing.
On the slide, there's another kill. That's McCage once again.
And McCage and Glass Childress, their setter-hitter connection is so strong right there on the slide, perfectly timed. McCage has to speed up her approach, and she snaps on the ball, cutting it off at the perfect time.
McCage, a 7th-year professional, has played the last 3 years in Athletes Unlimited, was also the chair of Player Executive Committee in AU. Orlando on a run now. And if you're an Orlando fan, this is the player you have to think you would want to see serving it in. Wilma Rivera. Maddox off the block. Here's Shina Joseph, stuffed. Van Buskirk doing it all herself on that one.
So far, I've been really impressed with the Thrill's blocking. So technically sound, perfectly timed, rising into the air. The pins do a good job at setting the block, and the middles do a great job reading and reacting to the set.
I stand corrected. That was Maddox on the solo stuff. Back the other way. There's MK White.
Good fast set from Wilma Rivera. We see here that's a 31. It's a gap set. You see the two blockers. There was a space in between them, and Michaela White took advantage of that open seam.
Two-point lead for Las Vegas. Anai hunting the line, caught it. Ace serve.
Perfectly placed. It was almost like she pinpointed it right there down the line. The official replay tags the outside. Great technology there and an even better serve from Adora Anai.
Second ace of the set for Anai. Back to work once more. Out on the right side, the off-speed tip is knocked back. Second effort, full swing this time by Maddox, and it misses the sideline. We're knotted up at 22.
And that was a good block by Jill Gill, staying in the air, holding, shot blocking that. Maddox with a rare error.
And Las Vegas calls timeout after Orlando goes on a run to turn the tide right back. Make things incredibly interesting here as we head to the last several points of the set. Madison, what stood out to you so far through the first combined 44 points of action?
Yeah, well, so far I think the name of the game has been serving. When the serves are aggressive, they're getting the opposing team in trouble on serve receive. They're not able to run their full offense. They're creating some chaos on the other side of the net. Both teams have kind of had their spurts of aggressive serving, and it's been paying off. Now we're tied up, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
You know what's funny, we do this at the college level, and we've now done it a couple of weeks now at the professional level, and the conversation is still the same. You ask any coach anywhere in the world what you need to do well, the first things they always say, serve and pass.
Exactly. It is the first contact that sets the precedence for the rest of the play. You have to have that first ball contact be clean and aggressive from the serve, and then from the serve receive line, it sets up the rest of the play.
Las Vegas broke the huddle first. Orlando, who's led for the majority of the set, fell behind and now tied things back up once again. Takes a couple of extra seconds to break theirs. And Adora Anai will serve it in once again. 22 all, set one here at Edition Financial Arena. Nice pass. Maddox off the block. Out of the middle, MK White. Hippe off the block and down.
Both teams' defenses doing a really good job at keeping that play alive for a long time. We see longer rallies here in this pro league. But Hippe's got 15 years of pro experience, and she tooled the block on her way down to get the point.
Maddox goes to the back row, averaged north of 4 kills per set in the NCAA as a senior last season. There's Jill Gillen, who helped lead Arkansas to an Elite Eight, and she's trying to lead Orlando to a set one win.
And you see that set just a little bit behind Jill Gillen, but she's got that hang time. She reaches behind her, snaps on the ball, and she has so much momentum in her approach, so much power moving into every single swing, that even at 5'7", she can get these fantastic kills.
Speaking of long tenured professionals, Audi Cruz, 26 years, steps in as a sub to serve it in for Orlando. Hippe off the block. Murr plays it up. Gonzalez dug up by Cruz. Gillen! And Orlando stand at set point.
Great dig by Audi, and then the quickness of the set. The block wasn't there. It's a one-on-one kind of situation. Hippe not in the air, not tracking that set all the way out to Gillen. And when Gillen has that fast set and it's to her arm, she is going to terminate every single time.
When we talked to Fran Flory before this match, she said one of the things that impressed her most about the 5-set win in Omaha and how tight that 5th set was when they called timeout, when they were trailing. They didn't talk about the situation. They didn't talk about the environment. They just focused on what they needed to do, and they just went out and played. You have to imagine the conversation here in a very tight set one is awfully similar, Madison.
Exactly. Whenever it gets down to the red zone, the very end of the game, and you either need to come back or you need to close, you have to kind of drown out every single thing that's around you and focus on the players in that circle. The strategy, all that matters is them right now. And it's really just one play at a time, one contact at a time. It's best to break it down in your mind in order to make that comeback.
And if you're Las Vegas, if you get an in-system ball, what are you going to try to do here?
I'm definitely going to go to the middles. In their match versus Omaha, they set the middles a lot. The middles are very strong attackers. They have high efficiencies. They take care of the ball. So yep, I'm going to the middle, probably on a slide.
Don't blame you one bit. As you mentioned, the middle attack for Las Vegas in Omaha was efficient and impressive. Orlando, though, an impressive comeback of sorts here late in this set. They stand at set point. Hippe right pin. And a chance for Gillen. Rejected, it stays with the Valkyries. Joseph off speed, picked up by Murr. Wow, what an effort by Rivera. Orlando's out of system, Joseph goes cross court. Gonzalez, heavy swing. Gillen off speed. And Vegas gets it over till Brown puts it down.
And the Orlando fans are on their feet. What a fun rally to end the first set. Scrappy digs right there from Wilma Rivera. An out-of-system set. Shaina coming up, taking a little bit off of it with the cut shot. And then you see here Kaz Brown doing exactly what she's supposed to do, manning the net and taking control.
Well, what can Brown do for you? She can call set one, 26-24. At least so it seemed, but Las Vegas, I believe, is calling a challenge. No word what it is, but I'm imagining it's going to be a net touch challenge.
I would imagine the same thing. Kaz Brown was pretty close to the net. We can't see from right here if she was in it or not, but you might as well call the challenge.
Each team gets 2 challenges per set, so with this being the end of the set, you're going to get it right back anyway. The Pro Volleyball Federation uses Bolt 6 technology for its reviews. 22 high-definition cameras all around the arena to determine instantaneously, was there a net touch, was the ball in or out, etc., etc. And there was no net touch according to Bolt 6. Just tremendous technology, and with that call being confirmed, it is official. Orlando wins set 1. They led it early, they found a way late, and Orlando claims the opening frame over the Las Vegas Thrill here in the City Beautiful. 26-24, set 2 coming up after these messages. Vegas thrill. Madison, Orlando hit 310 in the first set.
They took care of the ball every time they were in system. Really good setter-hitter connection. The Thrill, on the other hand, hit it 230.
7 attack errors by Las Vegas. And Orlando puts down that opening ball. MK White off speed to the Terraflex.
Smart shot by MK White, taking a little bit off of it, using her court awareness and finding the open court.
And Buzzkirk off speed out of the middle. Joseph. Now Hippe rejected. Second effort. Once again, Orlando says no. And this time, it still stays up. Brown out of the middle, that's still up. What a rally. There it is.
It's hard not to laugh during that play. Kaz Brown had 3 blocks and then 2 chances to get a kill. And just the determination when you have that many chances is so strong. You see her there calling for that set. She wanted it. She wanted to be the one to finish it. And then hitting down the line right through her body.
Perfect pass right to the center. And that was a pretty, pretty sequence right there for Las Vegas.
Hannah Maddox has such a quick arm swing, even in that slow-mo. Her arm is moving at such a fast pace, and that allows that ball to swing straight down.
That ball straight into Alicia Glass-Childress' hands, too. I mean, from the drop, perfect offense there from Vegas, who then commits the service error. Shaina Joseph back to serve. Picked up by Murr, put down by Brown.
Wilma Rivera seeing that setting that block, getting all the way to the pin. Kaz Brown doing what she does best, closing off that seam, creating a wall.
Wilma Rivera doing the majority of the work right there. Brown there in on the action as well. Back set, tooling the block. That's Hippe once again.
And I talked about it before, but the range from Hippe makes it very difficult to block. She's able to swing down the line. We've seen some sharp cut shots, and right there, tooling the block straight down.
And Van Buzzkirk back to serve. Now on the slide, there's Kaz Brown. Out of the middle, and down in a hurry, there's Molly McCage.
And I do want to give some credit to Molly McCage. She had a good block touch, and then she had to get off the net, transition off the net, and then have her full approach and be in the air for that set. Really well done.
Out to the pin, there's Gillen. Wild swing there at the pin by Gabby Gonzalez. No touch by Orlando. That's point to the Valkyries. 5-3 Orlando. Hippe Didn't have any room, but was able to tip it just over the net. Orlando wasn't there to make a play for it, and so it's about as easy looking a kill as she's going to have all night.
And that shows how experienced she is. She's not going to go and wail at the ball and make an error. She's going to make a play, get it over the net, and it turned into a kill.
Now she goes back to serve. Murphy overpass. Gonzalez tips it over. On the slide, there's Brown. What a great connection there between her and Wilma Rivera.
And Kaz Brown is always in the air. She's always an option. You see her there calling for the ball, swinging over the arms of Gabby Gonzalez.
That sends Brown back to serve. And it just misses the end line. We mentioned the serving for Orlando a couple of weeks ago. The errors well outnumbering the aces. Much tighter that ratio in set one, Madison.
Exactly. For volleyball, you want to have a 1-to-1 ace-to-error ratio. Right now, Orlando has a 4-to-2 ratio.
Out of the middle, there's MK White.
I love the passion from MK White, running that set, a quick 31. She sees the arms so well, hits away from them. I said it before, but it's a gap set, and it gives the setter and the hitter space from each other and also spreads out the block.
7-5 Valkyries. Ace serve, Wilma Rivera.
Wilma Rivera was named best server for the World Olympic qualification in 2024. And we can see why. That jump top spin, deep, perfectly placed.
Worth another look. And that was close, it appeared from our angle, but long nonetheless.
And that's okay. There's that 1-to-1 ratio we just talked about.
Nice pass. Back row, Gillen! Got it!
We talked about it before the match, but it's almost like Gillen has an unlimited amount of hang time. She rises into the air and then just hangs there for so long until she attacks the ball at its highest point, swings cross court and down.
Gillen, as we mentioned, played her college volleyball at Arkansas, a team that had a relatively small bench, so just about everybody played full rotation, and Gillen laughed with us earlier today, Madison. She said, when you're 5'7", you better play 6 rotations.
Exactly, and she played 6 rotations so well. They made it to an Elite 8. She was one of the leaders. I'm pretty sure they had 3 or 4 players playing 6 rotations. It was really fun to watch, kind of like an international style of play.
Last Childress knows a thing or two about going full rotations, all that international experience. That's a service error, though. And another point to Orlando. These teams trading side outs with Orlando leading by 2, 9-7. White back to serve. Kippe. Now Joseph. Maddox had it stuffed. Orlando was ready and waiting.
And Maddox was a little off the net right there. You see her hitting from a little further off the net than she would probably want. And Kaz Brown sealing off that seam with those long arms, pointing her palm towards the ground.
And just like that, the Valkyries have opened up a 4-point lead. Kippe had it stuffed. Back-to-back blocks.
And with blocking, it's not just throwing your arms into the air. It's so much more than that. It's the timing of it all. It's pressing your arms over the net. It's pointing your palms and facing them into the court to shove it straight down. Kaz Brown is so technically sound.
Fran Flory has seen enough. She calls timeout. And so, with Orlando leading by 5, we will take a timeout as well and come back to the action here in Edition Financial Arena.
We gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
Oh, those young fans are flexing on them here at Addition Financial Arena, and the homestanding Valkyries are flexing some muscle here through a set and a half of action over the Las Vegas Thrill. So glad to have you along for the ride with us on YouTube. Sean Davison alongside the beach volleyball All-American Madison Fitzpatrick. Madison, what has impressed you most about what Orlando has done to this point?
Well, so far this set, it's definitely been the net defense. They've been shutting it down. It really doesn't matter who Glass Childress has been going to. Kaz Brown and Michaela White have been getting there, sealing off the net, and the pin hitters have also done a really good job at setting that block and remaining strong.
Consecutive blocks by Orlando stretch the lead to 5. Fran Floor, the head coach of the Thrill, calling timeout. And here we go once again. Back to the action. Orlando's block once again causing problems at the net. Here's Joseph now over the double block, and that'll find the floor. Shina Joseph with a kill.
And when speaking with Coach Pauly, she said Shina Joseph has a lot of hang time. She hangs and then she waits to swing. So they're coaching her to speed up her arm swing and go for those deep corners, kind of like she did just right there.
We saw Joseph put in a lot of work even after practice was over. Both times we were here earlier this week. Gillen, a workhorse of her own right, goes over the block. Hippe tests the double block. It stays with Vegas. Off speed into the net, point Orlando.
And we said it before, but it's really been the dominance of the block that has allowed them to have this long of a lead. Now up 13-7.
MK White to serve it in. Maddox won't get a touch call. That missed the sideline, no doubt about it. And Orlando, all of a sudden, Madison leads by 8.
And I do think it's important to note that when you are getting blocked, you have to go out of your comfort zone. So you see Maddox really cranking it towards the line. And when you're getting blocked like that a lot, it causes you to err more.
Rivera on the run, sets up Gillen. A fist pump by number 10 in White. We've seen that a lot now in just one match, one set, and now about a half of another.
And you see Wilma Rivera setting from back court, pushing it all the way to Jill Gillen's hand, who hits it at a perfect spot, deep corner swing.
Wilma Rivera is about as rangy a setter as I've seen in some time. And she's dishing out dimes, and I'll tell you what, not a whole lot is going Las Vegas's way. Kaz Brown is just feasting at the net.
I mean, she really is. That is her 5th block. She sees the ball so well, tracks the attacker so well.
Tight pass. Gillen puts down the overpass. Brown on second effort puts it to the floor, but I think we're going to get a net violation call against Orlando.
And if you're the Thrill, you really needed Orlando to make that error if you're going to stay in it.
Megan Jamison back to serve. Tight pass by Orlando. Gillen can't get it over.
And that was a good serve, causing Orlando to have some trouble on serve receive. That pass just a little too tight, causing Rivera to go up with one hand and try to set that ball, but she just wasn't able to.
Gillen off the block. Jill Gillen back at it again.
And you notice here, Jill Gillen has a one-on-one situation because the middle for the Thrill is holding on Kaz Brown, holding in that middle, waiting to block her. But with the set going to the pin, they weren't ready for it.
Shina Joseph, the jump topspin, looking much better here today. Back row off speed by Adora Anai. Haven't called her name a lot in set 2, haven't really needed to. Joseph just redirects underhanded over the net, and that was too much for the Thrill to handle. Another point to the Valkyries.
That's kind of one of those things where it's a mental error. They've passed balls way easier than that over and over and over again in practice. That's definitely a mental error.
10-point lead now for Orlando. They approach the red zone. Las Vegas calls their second timeout. And once again, we'll take it with them right here in the City Beautiful.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
Rally with us.
Back here in Orlando, where it appears that the homestanding Valkyries are well on their way to winning sets 1 and 2 here at Edition Financial Arena. Still plenty of volleyball to play here in set 2. Las Vegas plenty capable of going on a run. We saw them go on a big run in set 1 and actually took the lead late on in that set. So we'll see if the second timeout by Fran Flory changes much, and it appears that is not the case. That ball once again just passed over the net and out.
And with that timeout, she was also probably trying to ice the server. Shaina Joseph has a really solid topspin jump serve, but she wasn't able to ice the server that time.
20-9, Orlando. That right to the middle back, and that puts an end to that run. Gabby Gonzalez out at the pin, number 15 for Las Vegas. And it's worth mentioning, Madison, we spoke again with Fran Flory before this match started, and she said, look, we're about 90 days out from our reveal in late November. This team is really a shade of what it's going to be. We haven't been on the floor that much together, and so the fact that we're out there competing is impressive enough. And the fact then, I would submit to you, Madison, that they beat Omaha in 5 in Omaha, even more so.
Exactly, and it takes a while to develop that chemistry between your setters and your hitters and your passers, but they've done such a good job at getting there quickly.
We'll have to hit the reset button here and quickly. In set 2, there's a back row attack by Gillen, and it's a good one. No play by the Thrill. All-out effort just to get to it, but gracious, Gillen dropped the hammer.
It's like unloading a cannon. Look at that reach. Using all that momentum in her approach to snap on the ball. It's almost like when she's in the air, she's doing a full body crunch, and that's because she's getting her entire body into that swing.
It's Gillen back to serve. And there's another stuff block. Kaz Brown, have yourself a night.
Kaz Brown is absolutely manning and controlling this net right now. Tracking the ball really well, seeing where that set is going to go.
It's an Orlando team full of electric and engaging personalities. You're seeing them on full display here. Rivera with one hand on first contact, gets it to Joseph. Anai swinging away through the seam, would have wanted a touch call, didn't get it though. Point to Las Vegas, and I think perhaps we've got a challenge. In fact, we do. Amy Pauley, I think, wants to take another look to determine whether or not that ball was in fact touched on its journey out of play. There's Suzanne Lowry confirming what we suspected, that this will in fact be a challenge. And it's worth mentioning that Lowry, the up official, and Michelle Prater, the down official, that nobody's going to a monitor like you might be familiar with in the NCAA. There's actually a command center in Frisco, Texas that'll take in all of these 22 angles from Bolt 6 technology to determine within millimeters if something like that block touch occurred. Pauley and Orlando are right, and they will win that point.
It's a fantastic challenge by her. The technology that we have here is such an investment, but it is so worth it because of how quick they can make these calls.
2-point swing, and just like that, the Valkyries are at set point 24-10. And that does it!
What a way to end a set, a solo block stuff, a one-on-one situation. Adora Anai reading that perfectly, diving her arms into the cross court and sealing off the net.
An exclamation point on an explosive set two. Orlando exuberant as they head to the locker room, up 2-0. We'll be back here at the intermission after these messages.
NCAA women's volleyball will never be the same. Students of the game will study this era for generations. But we're only getting started. Sign up for pre-sale, news, and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
From club or high school courts to championship arenas, Spalding has been the trusted partner of volleyball players for generations. Our team of dedicated professionals isn't just about selling equipment, we're about supporting your journey. Spalding offers a comprehensive range of high-performance systems, nets, and accessories meticulously crafted for every skill level, budget, and playing style. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Spalding's knowledgeable staff will guide you, equip you, and cheer you on every step of the way.
We gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
Back here at Addition Financial Arena, Orlando seeing their home floor for the first time in a couple of weeks when they played the Atlanta Vibe in their opener to the season. And Orlando had set points in the first 4 sets. They only won 2 of them. Missed opportunities abound. They're taking advantage of all of them here tonight.
we gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
Well, Madison, we had to go to break while I was proposing this to you, but Orlando had 4 set points in set 1 through 4 against Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. If 2 of those go their way, they could have swept the Vibe. Missed opportunities there, and here, off a 2-week hiatus, this is everything Amy Pauley could have possibly asked for.
Exactly. Orlando has had 2 weeks off, but they haven't missed a single beat. And in fact, I think we could say they've taken steps and leaps forward. They've had 2 weeks of practice to regroup, watch film, learn from match 1, and grow. And we can see all of that on display here tonight.
Plenty of fireworks for Las Vegas as well. Hannah Maddox, I think, continues, Madison, to prove that she is for real.
Exactly. Hannah Maddox is extremely for real. I love watching her play. She's very explosive, athletic, and dynamic. She's coming off of 18 kills. She's got a handful now. She's one of their go-tos, and she's an absolute superstar for being a rookie.
Could not agree more. As the teams have headed back out to the floor here, as we get set to get set 3 underway at Addition Financial Arena. It'll be a must-win set for Las Vegas. Orlando, if they win it, could come away with a sweep for their first win in this inaugural season of Pro Volleyball Federation play. I'm not sure what the attendance is here, Madison, I heard that there weren't expected to be as many folks in the house as there were in week 1, but I'll tell you what, the crowd has been healthy and they have had plenty of reason to be loud.
Exactly, and out of this crowd, I would say probably 50% are kids, which I think is really cool because they get to watch this sport and how far it's come, and they get to see what the possibility could be for them if they play professional volleyball in the future. So I love seeing all these kids out there, and they definitely don't stop screaming. It's a huge home court advantage for the Valkyries.
Let's go back to that for a second, Madison, because at one point in time, you were a girl looking up to college athletes and to professional athletes indoor and on the beach. And having this opportunity, if you were a kid and you saw that you had an opportunity to do something like this, what would it mean to you?
Oh, it would mean everything to me. It's a perfect image of where this sport could go. And these kids watching, they see the lights, they see that they're at home, they're in some of their home country. It's a huge win for the sport of volleyball and a huge win for all of the kids watching.
It's a huge win for everybody tuning in because it's been compelling stuff, and volleyball has been on a meteoric rise. Imagine, at least from our perspective, that it was just a verifying-based conversation as we get set to go once more here in Orlando. Wilma Rivera gets us back underway in set 3. On the slide, new player here for Las Vegas checking in, Berkeley Oblad. Hey, there you go, Las Vegas. If you're trying to stem the momentum and maybe flip things a little bit, that's a great thing to do. Go out to that red-hot youngster, Hannah Maddox, and she gets the first kill of set 3.
And Hannah Maddox just swung over Shaina Joseph. She got up really high and contacted that ball at its highest point.
Las Vegas led late at one point in set 1, trailed it by as many as 6. Orlando, to their credit, came back and won the first set. Then set 2 was all Valkyries. So a rarity, if you will, to see Las Vegas out in front. And that's a nice swing. Once again, that's Oblad getting inside that Orlando block. Impressive to beat a block that's been so dynamic tonight.
Exactly, and that's kind of why you put in new players sometimes. It's a fresh face, it's a new look for the opposing defense, and they bring a new energy to the team.
Oblad, a native of Henderson, Nevada, and that is actually where Las Vegas will be playing their home matches at the Dollar Loan Center. And really cool to see, too, Madison, the viewing parties back in Las Vegas when they took on Omaha, and I'm sure there's folks in Vegas at a viewing party watching tonight. Hello to all of you. I know the first 2 sets haven't gone the way you wanted them to, but you're off to a good start in set 3.
Can never count Vegas out.
Absolutely not. That one dug under the net, so it's going to be a point to Orlando. 3-1 Las Vegas here, early set 3. A set that, again, the Thrill must win to extend this match. First 25 win by 2 to claim the set. Best 3 out of 5 to claim the match. If we get to a 5th set, it's first to 15 win by 2. Each of these teams playing a 5-setter in their first match of the season. Vegas beating Omaha in Omaha, Orlando falling right here to Atlanta 2 weeks ago. Shaina Joseph, right pin attack and right through the seam.
Shaina Joseph has a ton of range, and she contacts that ball at such a high point and then manipulates it. Look here, thumb down, just to the right of the libero, perfectly placed and swung at such a high point over the net.
6 kills, 4 blocks, 8 digs for Shaina Joseph against the Atlanta Vibe a couple of weeks ago. There's a service error. point to Las Vegas. That'll send Hannah Maddox back to serve, and Amy Pauley, the head coach of the Valkyries, who used to coach at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, so familiar with some of the smaller schools in the Southeast, like the UABs and the USAs, like where Maddox played, said, you know, she is as impressive a player she's seen. She's a player that she's kept her eye on for some time. Fran Flory actually said that she's a player that she's not surprised to see playing this well. Jill Gillen, no surprises to see her playing that well, and she goes off speed over the block. That's something, Madison, that Las Vegas did a lot in Omaha. Orlando kind of taking a page out of their book here.
Exactly. Coach Pauley, after watching Vegas play that game, told us that they're a patient volleyball team. They will tip you to death, and they're very consistent. Right there, Orlando paying back the favor.
Out of the middle, and there is Oblad. Mentioned Oblad, hailing from Henderson, Nevada. Played her college volleyball at the University of Utah. It's a service error for Oblad, but 1,000+ kills at the University of Utah. 2-time All-Conference, 1-time All-American, couple of Sweet 16 trips in her college career. Now in year 7 as a pro. Here's Shaina Joseph, who played her college volleyball at the University of Florida. Saskia Hippe, tremendous international prospect from Germany. Each team gets 2 international players. Wilma Rivera looked to call her own number. Everybody scrambling. Great rally here early in set 3. Gonzalez, did she catch a touch? You bet. That's a kill for number 15.
Gonzalez loves that high swing, tooling the block, hitting those high hands. She's gone for that quite a few times. And you see there just grabbing the fingertips. That's exactly what you want.
A serve. And after Orlando got back within a point, now 2 in a row for Las Vegas.
And if you're Coach Flory, this is exactly how you wanted your team to come out in set 3. This is exactly how you want them to respond.
Saskia Hippe actually played in Athletes Unlimited, came stateside, played in that league just this past year, finished 15th amongst all the pros in the Athletes Unlimited League. She serves it in, and Orlando goes to work offensively and misses the sideline. Amy Pauley calls timeout. 8-4 Las Vegas here in set 3, a must-win set for the Thrill. They're off to a good start, I should say, as we head to a commercial break. We'll be back to Edition Financial Arena after a minute.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
Sweet Caroline echoing through the mezzanine here at Edition Financial Arena. It's one of those classics, Madison. You can't not smile when you hear Sweet Caroline.
Exactly, and it's so hard not to sing it into the headset. I think every single person here knows the words to this song. It's a party this Saturday night here.
Well, so far it has been so good, so good, so good for Orlando, but Las Vegas is intent on flipping the script here in set number 3. They lead it 8-4 over the homestanding Valkyries, looking for their first win of 2024. Sean Davison alongside Madison Fitzpatrick. Thank you for joining us here at Edition Financial Arena on the campus of the University of Central Florida in Orlando. Jill Gillen, the Arkansas product, was rejected initially, and Kaz Brown cleans up that tip back to the Valkyries and puts it down in a hurry.
Kaz Brown was so elite at the net throughout the first 2 sets. And you see here, this is a gimme ball. You can't give Kaz Brown, or any middle, rather, that ball. It goes straight down with no one there to joust for it.
That'll rotate Jill Gillen to the back row. She serves it in. And that's a good serve. It's an ace serve, in fact, for Jill Gill.
And that's a great serve. It's a float serve, floating deep, continuing to rise as it goes. It's difficult to get your platform underneath it and angle it towards the setter.
8-6 thrill. 2 sets to none Valkyries. On the slide, there's McCage. And Orlando, who had Las Vegas out of system often in set 2. That's the first time in a while I can recall, Madison, that we've called McCage's name.
Exactly, and they ran through McCage a lot their last match versus Omaha. That's when they're at their best, when McCage can run that slide.
Well, she was able to do it there. That extends the lead to 3 for the moment, make it 4 for Las Vegas.
Volleyball is a game of momentum, and right now, the Thrill has all of the momentum. They're getting into the action here. Glass Childress pressing her arms over net, reading that the attacker wanted to go down the line and sealing off that net.
Madison, I have to ask, as a competitor, what felt better, getting your own crowd hyped up or quieting an opponent's crowd?
That's a tough question, but I would definitely say quieting an opponent's crowd for sure. There's just something that feels so satisfying about that. When everyone there wants you to do bad, and then you do good, it's a satisfying feeling.
And that is exactly what Las Vegas has done here over the last sequence of points, stretching things out, now leading it by 5, make it 4. That'll send Kaz Brown back to serve, who's done a little bit of everything, blocking, killing. She served it well, got a kiss off the tape there. Out of system ball, and wow, Las Vegas.
Glass Childress can set the ball from her knees, from the 10-foot line. You see her there getting it to Maddox's hand, who swings down the line. Michaela White not able to drop those arms down the line.
Boy, that was weird. I mean, I've seen some short service errors. I don't think I've seen any that have skipped under the net.
So I do want to say we've all been there, we've all done that, and it's okay. Everyone has 1 or 2 of those every once in a while.
Right before that, how about Glass Childress as she was falling to the floor with a dime of a set. Cross court, Oblad misses the sideline. And here comes Orlando, now back within 3.
Oblad right there just not able to get on top of the ball and not able to snap, and therefore she hit it out.
Wilma Rivera, who started her college career at Penn State, then transferred to the University of Louisville when Danny Busboom Kelly took over for the Cards. What a great effort by Jill Gill. Anai in transition. Tight pass. Backhand by Glass Childress is out of play. Point Orlando.
Jill Gill is so scrappy. First of all, good block touch, keeping the ball alive, and then Jill Gill laying out one arm. She would definitely be a good beach player. She's such a solid 6 rotation player.
And Orlando is now back within 2. Out to the pin, off the block, played up by Jill Gillen. Anai cross court, missed it. And that'll send Glass Childress back to serve. 3-time national champion at Penn State, a bronze medalist in the Rio Olympics. Wow, what a massive swing. And there's Glass Childress tracking that ball down to keep it alive. Back set and a kill.
I do want to give some credit to Kylie Murr, the thrill libero, who had that first initial dig. She's such a competitor, such tenacity. Good dig by her. But here, Adora Anai catching the seam, driving it through that open block for the kill.
Orlando's back within 2. Anai serves it in and down the line. On the slide, Oblad. MK White had to wait on that set from Wilma Rivera. She goes off speed with it and finds a soft spot right in the middle of the Terraflex.
And that's how athletic White is. She's able to slow down her approach. That set, not perfect, but she handles it with a lot of experience.
Orlando has seemingly weathered the storm. They're back within 1. Here's Adora Anai going down the line once again. Hippe missed the sideline. And just like that, we're tied up at 13. This is another incredibly strong service rotation by Adora Anai. She's done a great job of applying service pressure, hasn't she, Madison?
She absolutely has, and I was just about to talk, oh wow, what a fantastic ace. I was just about to talk about the risk of a jump topspin. Everything has to go perfectly. The toss has to be on, your approach has to be on. You have to contact it at its highest point, and right there is a perfect example of a perfect topspin.
And just like that, Orlando has the lead as we approach the midway point. Anai will serve it in again. Maddox puts an end to that rotation. Much needed for Las Vegas. And Maddox, a player that Fran Flory told us that one of her old college teammates lived nearby Maddox, across the street. In fact, saw her grow up and said, look out for her. And coaches in the Sun Belt Conference, where she played in at the University of South Alabama, said, look out for her. And so when the draft came around, she drafted her.
Exactly. A lot of Coach Flory's friends said, watch that kid about Maddox. And Coach Flory decided to take a chance on her, and it paid off. She is such an incredible pin hitter. Coach said she's a sponge. She's got a notebook that she takes to film. She's a student of the game.
Both of these teams, interestingly, very, very culture-oriented. You need culture everywhere you go, but both teams incredibly open about being extremely culture-oriented when it came to drafting players and selecting them and trying to figure out where the puzzle pieces fit next.
Exactly. Actually, both coaches told us that they almost drafted culture over talent, which I think is a really interesting way to put it. But they filled the positions and filled the roles to create a solid culture.
Double contact on that last point by Orlando, and so that's how Las Vegas knotted things up at 15. Nice pickup there by Georgia Murphy. Gillen, though, had it stuffed. McCage and Hippe. McCage especially was dynamic as can be in set 5 against Omaha. She was a lean, mean blocking machine in Nebraska.
She was so dynamic. She moved along the net so well. And that she is one of the reasons why they won that match. In the 5th, she just came alive at the net.
Coach Flory told us that she and Alicia Glass-Childress just refused to lose. And Hippe goes off speed, tips it cross court, and finds a spot on the floor. Good vision of the court by number 91. So here we are, 17-15 Las Vegas, and a must-win third set. Make it 17-16 as Oblad dumps serve into the net.
And that will be the Thrills' 9th service error in comparison to 2 aces.
China Joseph with a service error of her own, and she had a handful of those against Atlanta. We mentioned how she was working really hard extra after practice. That was really one of the departments that she spent a lot of time in, hammering balls a lot into those seams and finding the floor with great regularity. And that's really the first hiccup we've seen from her in that department here tonight. It's paid off.
Exactly. She's played a lot more consistently throughout this match than she did the first match. And that's what you want out of your players. You want to see them growing from practice and then growing in games every single week. And here we see a dominant net block by Alicia Glass-Childress.
And this is more like it if you're tuning in from Las Vegas. This is more like what you saw in their match against Omaha. Dynamic at the net, quality blocking. At this time, Jill Gillen tools that block for the kill.
And that shows how much trust Wilma Rivera has in Jill Gill to go back at her after she just got blocked and saying, hey, I trust you. I know you can find a way to score, and she did.
Jillian Gillen, who stands at 5'7". Her own coach, Amy Pauley, said she doesn't know what she touches. She said, but she's got a 30-inch vert, and not only does she rise up to levels that don't seem physically possible, but then she hangs there as well.
Exactly, so it makes her vertical that much more impressive because she's up there for a long amount of time. Coach said she's got to tell her to go home. She's got to tell her to stop practicing. She's an absolute workhorse.
Las Vegas sides out off the service error. Off speed from the back row by Shina Joseph. That looked good. There's Joseph back to work defensively with the dig. Off the block, played up by Murphy. Back row, Gillen off speed. Nice pass by Hippe. McCage on the slide, picked up by Gillen once more. Anai couldn't tip it over the net though. Point Las Vegas.
And you can tell McCage and Glass-Childress have a really good setter-hitter connection. They run that slide a lot. McCage feels obviously very comfortable with all of her years of experience running that slide, and she's been very efficient with it, the past match and this match.
Well, Las Vegas has seen the lead evaporate, and they've responded with a run of their own. They lead by 4. Timeout, Orlando.
NCAA women's volleyball will never be the same. Students of the game will study this era for generations. But we're only getting started. Sign up for pre-sale, news, and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
From club or high school courts to championship arenas, Spalding has been the trusted partner of volleyball players for generations. Our team of dedicated professionals isn't just about selling equipment, we're about supporting your journey. Spalding offers a comprehensive range of high-performance systems, nets, and accessories meticulously crafted for every skill level, budget, and playing style. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Spalding's knowledgeable staff will guide you, equip you, and cheer you on every step of the way.
Las Vegas perhaps closing in on forcing a 4th set here in Orlando. They lead at 21-17 here in set 3. They must win the set after Orlando won the first 2. Adora Anai attacks the out-of-system ball. There's a back row attack. No touch by the Valkyries. And I think Las Vegas is going to challenge that fact right here.
Pretty much every player on the Thrills court was convinced it was a touch from the second it happened, so let's see if they're correct.
The Thrills assistant coach Denise Corlett indicated on the tablet that each of these teams received that she wanted to challenge, and you can't challenge whether or not a ball was in or out, so the next best thing to do is challenge whether or not it was touched. And so you would have to imagine, with all levels of understanding and sense, that that would be what the subject of the challenge is here in Orlando. Again, each team gets 2, and they indicated on these tablets next to their bench, they don't wave a green card like you see in the NCAA and put the card down on the table. They press this button. They have 7 seconds after a play that they want to question occurs to hit that button, and then once they hit the button, they then have options, whether it be a touch, whether it be a net violation, whether it be a foot fault, whatever it might be. In this case, you see the tablet there over the shoulder of Amy Pauley. They didn't call the challenge. Orlando won the point. But that is basically the visual representation of what the coaches see whenever they do want to call one. Now again, the cameras that are going to do the honors and determine whether or not Orlando touched that ball on its journey out are provided by Bolt 6, a hefty financial investment. But you can see instantaneously that left hand of Kaz Brown did in fact come in contact with the ball, and these are high quality angles. If you watch tennis, it's like the Hawkeye system at Wimbledon that tells you whether a ball was in or out, except this shows so much more because there's so much more involved in volleyball.
Exactly. It takes away the subjectivity of the call. I absolutely love that the Pro Volleyball Federation is using it.
An instantaneous, indisputable, correct call, and you can't argue very much with that or that. Jill Gillen, 5'7", standing tall in the back row, though, off speed, smart shot.
And it's one thing to be able to bang balls. It's another thing to have a wide arsenal of offense, and Jill Gillen has such a wide arsenal right there, using her court vision, using her court awareness, and tipping to the open court.
Four-point lead for Las Vegas. Make it 5 as Audi Cruz dumps serve into the net. The throw within a couple points of forcing a fourth. And Madison, we've seen a lot of matches now in the Federation. Very few of them have been a straightforward sweep, and I think that speaks to the parity across the league. It's been incredible to watch.
Exactly. It's the best of the best volleyball players around the country and around the world. I mean, we've got national champions, Olympians, All-Americans, all of them coming out onto the court to battle each other. So, of course, it's going to go to 5 because the level of competition is that elite.
We'll see if we make it to 5 here. It certainly looks like we could go 4. Vegas, again, still within a couple points of forcing that. Orlando sends Wilma Rivera back to serve. Maddox at the pin. Now here's Anai at the Orlando pin, tooling the block by Vegas. Point to the Valkyries. They're within 3.
That was a really big point for Orlando. Without that, the Thrill would have had set point. So that was a must-needed point. And Adora Anai knows how to get the job done, tooling the block out.
A couple of points in a row for the Valkyries. Rivera goes back to serve again. Maddox swinging away. Net was vibrating, and I think there's no doubt that as she followed through on that swing, she rocked it. Timeout by Las Vegas. Fran Flory has seen enough. The lead's starting to dwindle. The Thrill 2 points away from the set, but the lead also down to 2, Madison.
And I think the key here is going to be not to miss their serve. If you're Orlando, you want to get it in. You also want to be aggressive. You need the Thrill not to be in system if you're going to come back these next 2 points. But really, you have to get the serve in. There's been a few too many service errors on both sides for Orlando. There's been 9. And for Vegas, there's been 10. Vegas has had 2 aces. Orlando's had 5. So the service game has been really big throughout this match.
So the plot thickens here in Orlando. The Valkyries on a run, starting to apply that service pressure. Some fans feeling the pressure as they get put on the spot with the kiss cam here at Edition Financial Arena. Those 2 rose to the challenge, so did they.
That's cute.
Can the Valkyries rise to the challenge and reel off a few more points? Rivera cross court says absolutely.
Leave it to Wilma Rivera from the back service line. Still has so much control over where that serve is going to go. She placed that there cross court, pretty shallow on purpose. She's got so much ball control from the service line.
Oh, what a nice swing by Hippe, launching from the back row. Got the touch, and Las Vegas has, it appears, set point. I saw Amy Pauley at the monitor, though. Might we have a challenge here by the Valkyries? We do. So we get to give Bolt 6 a little bit more love here, Madison, a couple more times. And if you're just joining us, Bolt 6 provides 22 high-def much as the antenna touch and the last touch in terms of a joust at the net. But just really cool stuff, courtesy of Bolt 6 and the Pro Volleyball Federation. And now it looks like we're determining whether or not there was an attack line fault. And it appears there wasn't one of those either. So in both cases, it remains point Las Vegas, and it's set point Las Vegas. Here in set 3, they lead at 24-22. Glass Childress serves it in. 3-point pass, and MK White puts it down. Great offense by Orlando and a much-needed side out.
And such a good set by Rivera, rising into the air so the ball didn't go over the net, cutting it off perfectly, and then finding Michaela White's hands. Michaela White, all she needed to do was snap on that ball.
And here's Adora Anai, who's gone on a couple of really strong service runs, back to serve. Here comes the jump top spin. Down the line it goes. Yepe to the floor, and Las Vegas forces a fourth here at Edition Financial Arena.
And we see on that block, Michaela White just a little late to close it and to seal it. And Hippe took advantage, driving it through that open seam.
So the Thrill do their job, and they certainly will be thrilled as they head back to their bench. They still have to win set 4, though. Orlando has a chance to win it in set 4 when we come back. Welcome back, where we're already back underway here at Edition Financial Arena. These teams are fired up and ready to play set 4, and this is the first rally. It's a darn good one. Adora Anai with a back row attack, now going to work with the dig. Shaina Joseph got the scoring started in set 1 with a kill, and she starts off set 4 in the exact same style.
And that is Shaina Joseph's bread and butter. snapping on top of that ball, driving it through the block, cutting it off early with that quick arm swing.
Las Vegas winning set 3. Madison, what in your estimation made the difference?
Well, Orlando, their hitting percentage, they were hitting at 110 in set 3, whereas Vegas was hitting 210. So Orlando did make more errors. And then Vegas's block really came alive. They had 3 total throughout the first 2 sets. In the third set alone, they had 3. Orlando had 0. So those 2 difference makers really was the reason they won set 3.
And going back to that hitting percentage for Orlando, for context sake, the Valkyries were hitting it 360 through the first 2 sets combined, and then you mentioned the 110 in the third, so quite the drop-off there for the Valkyries. They'll certainly take that service error from Las Vegas, though, as they lead it 2-1 here early on set 4. First to 25, win by 2 for the set. And if Orlando wins this set, they will win the match 3-1. Las Vegas must win this set to send it to a decisive 5th, at which point it'd be first to 15, win by 2 for the match. Berkeley Oblad played a set in Omaha and checked in for the first time in set 3 here. There's an ace serve for Berkeley.
And it almost looked like that toss for her jump float was a little too low, but she sped up her approach, got there, and delivered a nice flat float serve.
Oblad, who played professionally in France, Hungary, and Chinese Taipei, was on the All-Star team in her professional league out there in Chinese Taipei. Oh, one-handed effort by Anai. Tried to advance that ball up. They couldn't quite get it up to Kaz Brown and give her an opportunity to do much with it. So point goes to Las Vegas. Oblad stays back to serve once more with the lead 4-2 in favor of the Thrill.
And that was good placement by Gonzalez. Almost like a roll shot high down the line where there was no defender.
It felt like, too, Madison, going back to set 3, that Vegas turned up the service pressure a good bit as well.
Exactly. It has been a game of service pressure. And when Orlando is in system, they're really, really hard to stop. So Vegas amped up their service pressure. They were really aggressive, and then their block came alive as well.
Oblad continues to serve. Vegas just continues to churn right here. The lead now up to 3, 5-2 early going. And Orlando once again will take that service error. 2 out of Orlando's 3 points scored here in the 4th set have come via Las Vegas service errors. They'll send Jill Gillen back to serve. Service error of her own.
That will be the Valkyries' 11th service error. And Vegas also has 11 service errors. So you have to appreciate these athletes going for their serve. Of course, in an ideal world, you would want more consistency.
Anai plays that ball up on serve received, now transitions. Tight ball to the net. Anai once again, this time going off speed. Both teams scrambling here in this rally. Kaz Brown tipping it out of the middle. Hippe off speed. There's Anai, letting it fly. A cage off speed. Gillen anything but!
And it looks like Gillen had an open net, and she took advantage. Rising into the air, you see even with her back row attack, she has such an approach. She uses all of that momentum to rise up, probably touching over 10 feet there. And then she sees the defense so well and hits into those gaps and into those seams.
Amy Pauley told us this about Las Vegas. She said they're a low error team. It's one of the things that stood out to her on film from their match in Omaha. She said they're a very patient team. They'll tip balls over and over and over again. She doesn't want to see Orlando get into a tip battle with Las Vegas, which we saw a bit of there. She said it's going to be important for us to get a swing off. Jill Gillen got a swing off.
That's the perfect way to put it. She did say she doesn't want them falling into the tipping battle. They need to end those rallies quickly with some power.
On the slide, there's McCage, picked up by Brown in the back row. Anai lets it fly from the front row. Great effort there by Glass Childress, getting that ball up. Pin to pin, Anai! What a set by Wilma Rivera.
And you can really see from this angle how sharp cross court that swing is. You see her rising into the air, pointing that thumb down. That is such a sharp cross court swing, really difficult to dig with all of that power coming at you.
Tight slide, McCage. Gillen dug it up. Brown gets to it. Anai launches from the back row. Aggressive swing there by Anai, and there's a block, but out of play.
And so that happens whenever the blocker isn't pressed, or they're not close enough to the net, or they're not pressing their arms over the net at the right time. Sometimes if you're a little too far off the net, that ball can get blocked straight down on your side.
Gabby Gonzalez into serve. Another set all the way down the tape by Rivera to Anai. Point to Orlando. The whistle came mid-rally, so that would be a net violation against Las Vegas.
I believe that was called on Molly McGage, who was running the slide. Looks like she just ran a little too close to the net and tagged it.
Tied up at 7 here in set 4. Rivera serves it in. Nice job there by Murr on serve receive. There you have it. That's a plus pass by Murr. It puts an end to Rivera's service rotation.
And going back to Murr, Coach Flory told us that she's a competitor. She's got a lot of tenacity. She's really come into her own as the leader of the defense for this team.
Yeah, a player who's really learning her own voice. Adora Anai has nothing to learn with that swing there. She has been dynamic from her time as an all-star at Utah, has had a tremendous pro career, and she looks like she's going to continue that here.
Exactly. She can identify the block so well and then pinpoint where she wants to swing with that one, dropping her thumb, swinging high and down the line.
I believe we might have a challenge here by Las Vegas on whether or not, I think this is going to be an antenna touch. As it stands, Orlando wins the point, and we're knotted up at 8. And I think one of the things that's important to mention here, and so that's clearly not an antenna touch, is that with every review, unlike some sports where, you know, challenges aren't as penalizing, if you will, for certain teams, in volleyball, it carries the potential of a 2-point swing. Not only are you giving a point to somebody, but you're also taking a point away from somebody if you overturn a call. So it's a double whammy, if you will.
Exactly, and in addition to the points, you're gaining and losing confidence and momentum.
So had Orlando lost that challenge, they would have been trailing 9-7 instead of tied up at 8-8. Instead, it stays tied up at 8-8. They get the ball over. There's a big swing out at the pin. Nice job defensively by Murphy. Out of system ball. Gillen goes off speed and doesn't come away with much.
Anything goes in volleyball. Any way you can get that ball up is legal. Right there, going off the face, you can see a little red in her cheeks, but maybe that's because the game is so intense right now.
Service error by Las Vegas. Nine up, set 4. And number 9 for Orlando back to serve. One of my favorite stories on this Orlando roster, MK White, who didn't play volleyball till she was 16, didn't play competitive volleyball till she was 17, then goes to James Madison and is an all-conference player and is off to a tremendous start in her pro career several years in. But frankly, Madison, in terms of her overall growth as a volleyball player, still very much a baby in a lot of ways. She's very early on in her volleyball career.
100%, and that's just a testament to how athletic she is and how dynamic she is. She's just going to continue to grow as she gets more reps.
That kill right in front of White. Ipe puts it down in a hurry, number 91. We're tied up at 10. Maddox back to serve. Nice pass there by Anai. Gillen goes off the top of the block. It hovers over the net. And Kaz Brown had a wide open look. Too easy for number 11 in White.
I don't even think that her feet left the floor on that. She's so athletic. technically sound, and she knows what she needs to do. She knows that the opposing defense is scrambling. And so she's just gonna get that ball away from their side quickly, see the open court, and push it to it.
Oh, interesting here. Graham has checked in to the back row, which means Rivera, if she wanted to, would now be hitting opposite of her fellow setter. Set goes to Rivera. She goes out to the pin, and Dillon. Graham in the back row picks it up. Anaya lets it fly from the back row, and there again to clean things up at the net is Kaz Brown.
She has been so incredibly dominant throughout all of these sets. You see her there tracking the ball, not netting, and being the last one to touch it, pushing it onto their side.
Glass Childress runs the middle. So too does Orlando with Brown, who had it knocked back to her. Then she dug it up and out of play. Gabby Gonzalez causing a little chaos there at the net. Oblad goes back to serve. Oblad, who is an assistant coach, or has been an assistant coach at Southern Utah. Number of college coaches coming back to play professionally, and that is a strong swing on the slide for Orlando.
It's a fast slide. She got up there, cut it off quickly, and you see the middle block for Vegas. Molly McCage not able to get there, not able to close that block and seal off that seam.
Dillon back to serve, that's deep. Lead down to 1 for the Valkyries, who again can win this match in this set. Las Vegas dropped the first 2, won the third. And Hippe goes back to serve. Joseph, back row, tips it. Oh, there's a big block. Adora Anai came crashing in with Kaz Brown.
And you see there, not only was Adora Anai and Kaz Brown both there sealing the net, but they angled their arms so well that that ball was put straight down. Of course you want the Thrill to cover that, to dig up that block, but sometimes when it's going straight down like that, it's very difficult too.
Audi Cruz, the first ever 3-time All-American back when she was in college at the University of Florida. A decorated pro career spanning nearly 3 decades, checks in to serve, and her service rotation is cut short by Las Vegas. Down the line for another kill. Gabby Gonzalez goes back to serve. Gonzalez, one of a number of rookies on this Las Vegas team, and Fran Flory told us all the rookies kind of got off to a slow start, trying to figure out where they fit. And that's part of their growth and their evolution as they figure things out early here in this Pro Volleyball Federation season. Out to the pin, there's an eye. Maddox, one of those rookies. Joseph! Gracious!
Joseph flying out of the back row. And that's one of the advantages of having such a strong front row attacker play 6 rotations, is she can swing from the back row as well. It gives the opposing team a different look on defense, and it creates some chaos.
15-13 Orlando here in set number 4. We've reached our midway media timeout at Edition Financial Arena. The Valkyries could perhaps win this match in this set. We'll see.
We gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
2-point lead for Orlando in set number 4 here on the campus of UCF in the city beautiful Orlando. Las Vegas must win this 4th set to force a 5th. Halfway through. And that's a service error. So make it a 1-point deficit here for Las Vegas, who will send Molly McCage back to serve. Just long for the Valkyries. McCage will serve it in, picked up by Murphy. Joseph now rotating to the front row. Maddox picked up once again here by Murphy. Anai got the kill off the right pin.
And it was the block touch by Orlando that slowed down that attack from Vegas. And they were able to run an in-system pass, set, and kill by Adora Anai. Their hot hands at the moment.
Momentary delay to wipe up the floor here at Addition Financial Arena. Orlando leading at 16-14 here in set number 4. Off the kill, Adora Anai goes back to serve. Hippe had it stopped. MK White.
Hippe coming from the back row, but Michaela White sealing off that net. Jill Gill set that block perfectly. Michaela White did her block approach, got there, sealed off that net.
Hippe! What a swing.
And that right there is what 15 years of professional experience looks like. You get blocked, and then you get the same set. You don't take anything off of it. You trust yourself. You're confident with your abilities. You do a same powerful swing, and you get the kill.
11 kills, 10 digs, a double-double for Hippe in Las Vegas's first match of franchise history, really, as we get everybody underway. They had that a few days ago in a 5-set win at Omaha. And I think that, too, really speaks to the parity in this league, Madison. Las Vegas, a late start, an unknown commodity, picked preseason number 7. Omaha, preseason number 1. And it's Vegas who goes to Nebraska and beats the Supernovas.
Exactly. Anything can happen, especially early on. Everyone is growing at such accelerated speeds, gaining chemistry. Anything can happen in the Pro Volleyball Federation.
We've certainly seen that here over the first few weeks. Fun rally here. Great job there by Georgia Murphy. Great up. Back row, Anai. Great up by Murr for the moment. But Las Vegas runs out of room.
It always starts with the dig. Georgia Murphy, a great up, tracked that ball so well, got her platform underneath it, and then Wilma Rivera spreads out her offense and really is getting the back row attack involved.
Georgia Murphy, a player that her head coach Amy Pauley says needs to be looked at by the national team here in the United States, just because of how strong she is in serve receive, her defense especially strong as well.
Exactly, and she said Georgia Murphy is that kind of quiet player. She said she walked into the gym at the very beginning just as quiet as a mouse and said, I'm gonna take that libero role. She's really diligent and steady, and that's what you want out of a libero.
Momentary side out for Las Vegas, then the service error by Maddox. Maddox, who just wrapped up her career as a Jaguar at South Alabama, ended up being top 10 at USA. That's their abbreviation, USA. Highly interesting. In block assists, kills per set, and in total kills, she ranked in the top 5 with nearly 1,500. Las Vegas within a point of Orlando here as these teams near the red zone in set 4. Gillen, cross court, count it.
And a lot of the times, the player that's going to come up and swing as a pin attacker is going to get targeted on serve receive, and that's exactly what just happened. They targeted Jill. She had an in-system pass, And then her approach is really long to begin with. She uses all of that momentum moving forward to get the kill.
First time, I believe, today we've seen Carly Scott, third-year pro, who in the middle of her, in between her college career and now her career here at the Pro Volleyball Federation, spent some time in the AVP on the sand. Finished up her college career at Pepperdine, actually, after being an indoor volleyball player at the University of Michigan. Curtailed that into a career with the professional beach circuit. Won a tournament out in California, finished in the top 3 in a tournament here in the Central Florida area, in fact. And so she checks in to serve and now plays some defense for Orlando. And there's Adora Anai.
Adora Anai has an incredible amount of range, and it's difficult to read because she's in the air, she's hanging, she's waiting, she's looking, and then she has so much control over where that ball goes, swinging deep down the line.
Joe Gillen has subbed back into the game in the back row in place of Scott. Problems here on serve receive for Las Vegas. Great effort by Gonzalez all the way to the bench to keep that point alive. Anai had it rejected, keeps it up. Rivera attacks it. Out to the pin. And wow, that is such a gritty point, and I believe that that was Gonzalez herself who got the kill, rightfully so. She tracked it down, she finished it off. Number 15, what a point.
Exactly, it's almost like a reward. If you give that much effort, you're the one that deserves the kill. And there she goes, swinging high off the hands of Wilma Rivera, who was on her way down during that block.
1 point lead for Orlando, 21-20, make it a 2-point lead. The Valkyries within 3 points of winning the match. And Wilma Rivera heads back to serve it in. On the slide, McCage. A 9! Wow! Straight down.
You cannot give Adora Anai a one-on-one situation, and that's what we have right here. She sees Molly McCage diving into that line, but she's not there fast enough, and Adora Anai snaps on that ball straight down, 10-foot line kill.
Timeout on the floor, and I think we need one just to catch our breath. Orlando within a couple points of winning the match here at Edition Financial Arena.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
By Orlando, and that is a big break for Las Vegas. The timeout and the error puts an end to what could have been a crucial service run for Wilma Rivera. McCage goes back to serve. That's just long, and that service error means that for the first time in franchise history, Orlando stands at match point.
And the fans rise to their feet and throw a 1 in the air. Let's see if Adora Anai can get it done.
Picked up by Murphy. Gillen and Orlando have their first win ever.
Jill Gillen, exclamation point kind of swing. Perfectly placed with all of that power. She wanted that final point.
And for an Orlando team that had all the opportunities they could imagine against Atlanta, but just weren't able to find a way, this has to feel so incredibly good. On a 2-week hiatus, no less, to come back and author a showing like this.
Exactly, 2 weeks off, just thinking about this upcoming match, strategizing, watching film, going back to practice, regrouping, re-practicing, learning from that first match. And as you can tell, they took large leaps forward and it paid off.
Large leaps forward and large leaps into each other as they celebrate their first ever win here at Addition Financial Arena. Plenty to talk about, plenty to think about and process. We'll come back after these messages and put a wrap on this one. After having 15 kills against Atlanta, Joe Gillen had 14 and the final one tonight in Orlando's 4-set win over the Las Vegas Thrill. So glad to have you along for Madison. I was particularly impressed by Orlando's defense in set 4. They had 66 digs in the match, 20 in set 4 alone.
And incredible reading, incredible digging, led by Georgia Murphy, the libero, and there you see the last point. That is what it feels like to win at home for the very first time in franchise history.
Man, this federation is on a straight upward trajectory. What fun it's been tonight. And again, to all of you at home, thank you for joining us on this ride tonight where Orlando wins it in 4. For Madison Fitzpatrick and our entire crew at Edition Financial Arena, I'm Sean Davison saying so long, where Orlando wins it 3-1.